Alright, so distance and midpoint. Second 9 weeks. Good stuff here. This is formulas. These are formulas that you need to know. We're talking about lines, distance and midpoint of a line. First we're going to start with distance. There's a formula. X2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And all of that is under the square root sign. You will be working with the calculator in a little bit, not right now. I don't know where my calculator was. That'd be nice. Oh, nice article on you guys in the paper yesterday. If you look online, there's more pictures. There's only one picture in the paper, but there's several pictures of you guys. If you go to McDowell News, it's called a win-win. I'm going to get this laminated. They interviewed Natalie, Bailey, and Taylor. So, very good article. I shared it on my Facebook, and very proud of you guys. Very proud of you guys. All right, so the distance formula. Now, look at this. You guys are smart kids. Let's use our skills that we have. What is this? When you see this, what is this? No, it's not slope. It's not slope. What are these? Points. Points. We're looking at distance of a line. These are points. Okay? Remember I told you you're going to be dealing a lot with points this year. And no matter what you're doing, whether it's distance or midpoint or quadratics or whatever, the way we set those points up is never going to change. This first parenthesis is x1, y1. It's not going to change. This second parenthesis is x2, y2. Now, you have to put this formula to memory. They're not going to give it to you, and probably next week when I give you things to do with this, I'm not going to give you the formula. Okay? So this formula, you're going to have to put to memory. Alright? So once you label your points, you're then going to rewrite using your points. x2 is 2. 2 minus x1 is negative 4. Now watch how I write this. You have to write like this. Now you're going to get to use a calculator. Okay? Squared plus y2 is negative 1 minus y1 is 2 squared. Okay? Then I'm going to show you how you're going to put this in your calculator. If you watch, after we do a couple, you won't have any problem. Now, when you have this on your EOG, you're going to get to use a calculator. So by all means, we're going to practice using a calculator. Alright? They're not going to make you do any of this without a calculator. So, we're going to practice with the calculator. When you put this in your calculator, you're going to go second square root. If you want to write that down. Trent, will you close that door for me? You'll hit second square root. Then, you see your parentheses above the 8? You see that parentheses? You're going to say parentheses 2 minus negative 4. Look at the minus sign. Look at the negative sign. Do you see how it's different? One mistake that kids make is they put minus a minus. You can't do that. Okay? And then you'll get an error message and you're like, my calculator's messed up. No, you didn't put the right sign in there. So 2 minus negative 4, close your parentheses. Kids forget to close their parentheses. You know what else kids forget to do? They forget to square it. Okay? You have to put it in there just like that. Parentheses, 2 minus negative 4 squared. Or they forget to put the plus sign. You just got to take your time, put your stuff in there. Plus, parentheses, -1 minus 2, close your parentheses, squared. Okay? So you hit second square root. You're going to put it in your calculator like you wrote it down. And then you're going to hit enter. And we are not going to worry about rounding that sucker. Because if it's a multiple choice, I have a feeling that you guys would be able to match it up. You put 6.7, I'm happy. Okay? Does everybody understand that? We're not going to stress over, oh, I'll round it to. Doesn't matter. You can match it up. So the answer is 6.7. Okay? These are not hard. Once you got that formula memorized, you already know, hey, x1, y1, x2, y2, plug it in. This is the fun stuff with algebra. You got your formula. Anybody can solve anything with algebra if you've got your formula. Follow your formula. Now, I need you guys to go over there quietly, get a calculator. Make sure your calculator has a back on it. Okay? Quietly. You sure can. It's not running yet. Guys, quickly grab a calculator and come sit down. Because you can't take these calculators home, so you will want to make sure that you have time to do this work today.
How'd you say you cleared it, Miss?
Second plus 712. Alright guys, grab a calculator. Mike. Do they have batteries? Maybe they need batteries. I have batteries.
Could you slide that up a little bit so I can see like the coordinates?
Like this right here?
Yeah.
Or up like this?
No.
Down like this?
Yeah. Where your battery?
Four. Throw those away, okay? So if you clear the memory, second plus 712. You need batteries, Maggie. Good. You're welcome. Okay, now, I need everybody to listen to me. I'm going to be a little picky today, okay? You guys quit talking, it'll be awesome. Okay, I'm going to be a little picky today. Since this is a new thing that we're working with, okay, here's an example. Today, I want you to write out, okay, first of all, let's rewrite our formula. Square root x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. I want you to rewrite that formula. I want it in your head, okay? Today I'm going to be picky. Today I want you to label your parts, okay? So when you do this homework assignment that I'm going to collect on Wednesday, I want to see that you've labeled your parts. I'm going to be picky. X1, Y1. X2, Y2. Then, before you put anything into your calculator, I want you to write down what you're going to put in your calculator for today. So in my calculator, if I'm following my formula, I say x2, which is -2, minus -2 squared plus 4 minus -3 squared. For today, I want you to write down what you're going to put in your calculator. Okay? Does everybody understand that? Now, I'm not going to make you do that every single time we do distance problem, but for today I am. Then, once you have written down your stuff, grab your calculator. The square root button is above the x squared button. Everybody, if you look up at the screen, you'll see this. You're going to say second square root, parentheses. Negative is down here at the bottom. Okay? -2 minus -2, close your parentheses, square it, plus parentheses 4 minus -3, close your parentheses and square it. Take a look at your calculator, take a look at my calculator, make sure you closed your parentheses, make sure you have the plus button in between it. Make sure you squared both things. That is the number one thing kids mess up, is they don't put everything in there. Hit enter. Everybody should have got 7. If you did not get 7, go back and look at what you did. Did you put a -2 or did you use a minus button? Did you square it? Did you close it? Did you put plus in between it? Alright, so the distance is 7. Okay? Let's try another one. 3, 2. 5, -2. 3, 2, 5, -2. I want you to label your points. X1, Y1. X2, Y2. Now I want you to write down what you're going to put in your calculator. Parentheses. X2 is 5 minus 3 squared plus -2 minus 2 squared. Once you've got down what you're going to put in your calculator, then take your calculator and enter that in. This is what I got. 4.47. You did not get 4.47. Go back and look what you put in your calculator. Did you say parentheses 5 minus 3 squared plus parentheses -2 minus 2 squared? If you didn't get that, you need to look and see what you did wrong. Hope you do better than that today. Anybody struggling with putting this in your calculator? Huh?
I was just saying, I just read it at 4.5.
I don't care. Didn't I say I don't care? You ain't gonna worry about rounding. I believe y'all are smart enough. Anybody throughout my day is smart enough to match up a multiple choice? I don't care. Okay? All right. Let's do one more example. Five and negative 7. 8, negative 2. $5.8. Get 5.8. Okay. Distance. Got to know formula. Once you got the formula, plug in your stuff, use your calculator. It's no problem. Okay. Midpoint. What does midpoint sound like? Middle. Okay. Let's say I had a line segment here. The distance would be from this point to this point, the entire line. The midpoint comes in the middle, halfway. Sometimes with word problems you see things that say halfway, okay, kind of in between, halfway. The midpoint also has a formula. x1 plus x2 divided by 2. In other words, you're going to add your x's together and you're going to divide by 2. Not hard. Comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. You're also going to add your y's together and divide by 2. Your answer is going to be 2 points. Your answer for midpoint. You will have an x and you will have a y. You're thinking about a graph. You're looking for the point on the graph that is the middle of that line. So you're going to have an x and you're going to have a y. Okay? So if I had this problem, these are my coordinates, 0, 2, 6, 4. That is the coordinates of that line. That would be this and this. I need to find the middle. Well, I'm going to label my points. The way I label my points will never change. I don't care what I'm doing with those points. x1, y1, x2, y2. That's how we label our points. That's never going to change. Whether you're finding slope, whether you're finding distance, whether you're finding midpoint, if you're doing vertices and Pythagorean later on, it's not going to change. So I look at this and I say, you know what? I've got to add my x's together. and divide by 2. Now, we're pretty smart in here. 0 plus 6 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. If I'm dealing with my x, that has to come first. It does matter how you put this answer. That x has to come first, because on a graph that tells me to go over 3. Then my y's. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So this answer told me to go over 3 and up 3, and that would be the middle of that line. Okay? So here's the coordinates. And they're not going to give you the formula. They're just going to give you coordinates. Sometimes they just give you a line and you've got to find your own coordinates. No problem. Y'all can do that if that's what they ask. You say x1, y1, x2, y2. And they ask for the midpoint, the middle, halfway. Anything that means middle, you're going to apply the midpoint formula. You're going to add your x's together. Negative 2 plus 6 divided by 2. You're going to add your y's together. 2 plus 4 divided by 2. Well, when I combine a negative 2 and a 6, I get 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. The midpoint of this line is over 2, up 3. Okay? Gina, Samantha. Now, you might have a decimal for an answer. It's okay. It's okay. Asking for the midpoint, I'll label it x1, y1, x2, y2. I'm going to add my x's together. 2.3 plus 1.5 divided by 2. 3.7. I'm going to just show it this way. You could have simply said 3.7 minus 2.9, I don't care, it's the same concept. Alright, 2.3 plus 1.5, it's 3.8, isn't it? 3.8 divided by 2 is 1.9, isn't it? So this x, 1.9. .7 minus 2.9 0.8. What's half of 0.8? If they allow you to use calculators on Midpoint, it's a possibility that they will. I don't know that you'll need it. Let's say They allow you to, and you get a little confused because there's negatives and there's decimals. I'm going to show you something. When you use a calculator for midpoint, your calculator is very sensitive and it follows order of operations. Okay? If you try to put everything in there in one step, it's going to give you an incorrect answer that you're looking for. It's going to divide before it adds because the calculator is following order of operations. So, if you use a calculator, let's say with this problem right here, you want to add 2.3 plus 1.5. You want to hit enter and tell your calculator, add this first. Then divide that by 2 and it'll give you the answer. If you try to put it all in there at one time, you're going to get a totally different answer. Okay, does everybody see that? So if you can use your calculator, you have to do it in 2 steps in your calculator. Okay? For this problem, I want you to find the distance, and I also want you to find the midpoint. I want you to label your points. I want you to find the distance, and I also want you to find the midpoint. Jaden, did you get the distance? What did you get for distance of this one? 9.43. Okay. Jaden, tell me what I'm going to put in my calculator.
Square root.
Second square root. Okay.
Parentheses.
Parentheses.
-2.
Nope. What's your formula? Formula. What's the formula?
x1.
Nope. What's your distance formula? Go back and look at your notes, son. I just gave it to you. What's your distance formula? Nope. What's your distance? I know what it is. I'm asking him. is our distance formula, Jaden? First thing I wrote down today. This is our distance formula, Jaden. I wrote it here, and I wrote it again here. Son, it's not x1. What is it?
I said x2 first. That's the first thing I said. It said square root of parentheses, and I said the number we were talking about, which is formula after x2.
x2 is a 3. Yeah, thank you for admitting you were wrong. So Jaden, tell me, what am I going to put in my calculator? I have the square root in parentheses. I agree with you on that. But from there I didn't.
3 plus 2.
Nope, that's not your formula. Your formula is x2 minus x1.
X1 is a negative.
I don't care. You don't put a plus. You put it in there just like it's written.
You put minus negative 2.
3 minus negative 2
Parentheses, second,
squared.
plus parentheses 4 minus 4 parentheses squared.
What's your distance, Jaden?
0.5 and 2. Oh, distance? Oh, sorry.
Jaden, stop for a second. Stop. Stop. Son, you're going to have to pay attention over there. Okay? This is the distance formula. Alright? Once I put it in my calculator and I hit enter, this answer right here is my answer. Okay? For the distance formula. What is the distance of those coordinates, Jaden?
I put a beginning parentheses. I have to put it in
Jaden, just look at the screen, son. I've got it up there.
5.
5. 5. Now, to find the midpoint, Adriana, to find the midpoint, what am I going to do in order to find the midpoint?
x1 plus x2.
Okay, tell me the numbers. Yes, you're right. That is our formula.
Negative 2 plus 3 over 2.
And
4 plus 4 over 2.
so a negative 2 and a 3 is 1. 1 divided by 2 is what, Adriana?
0.5.
4 plus 4 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is what?
4.
The distance is 5. The midpoint is 0.54. Let's try another one.